All right, everyone, grab your drinks, grab your favorite snack to eat while you're watching keyboard reviews, because obviously everybody has one. Today, we're taking a look at the Tide 75. Wrong Tide.
Nice.
The Tide 75 from Epomaker. Now, first off with this keyboard, before getting into this review, I just want to say that I have absolutely loved Epomaker's products so far. I have a ton of their keyboards. The one on my desk is a keyboard right now that I built with the High 75. This one is the Tide 75. I just reviewed their click mouse. I've really enjoyed their products. I think that they make some really high quality stuff for prices that are very, very acceptable. Now, before getting into the detailed review of the Tide 75, if you guys enjoyed these types of reviews, these types of videos, and you want to see more, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It is greatly appreciated. So just like in the name, this is a 75% keyboard, also known as a TKL board, which basically means you don't have an extra numpad on the side here, which makes it a smaller footprint for the keyboard, which is ideal if one, you have limited desk space, two, you don't use a numpad, so you want to have a cleaner looking desk with less space being taken up by the keyboard and more room for your mouse or note taking or anything else. So let's talk about the design first. The one I have here is the black edition with this gold trim, and this thing is absolutely beautiful. It features a full aluminum build, which makes this thing incredibly hefty. This is nearly 4 pounds, which is fine because a keyboard is stationary on your desk and it's not moving around, so you don't need it to be too lightweight. I've always been in love with any tech item that has matte black. To be honest, the only reason why, actually, not the only reason, but the main reason why I still use my Samsung S21 Ultra is because of its matte black finish and the look. I absolutely love it. So anything matte black with the feel, with the texture, I absolutely love the way it looks. Now, it does come with a USB-C cable and a 2-in-1 switch and keycap puller right out of the box, which is great because obviously there's a reason it comes with that. This keyboard is hot-swappable. The color for me is absolutely gorgeous. It does also come in blue, pink, and purple. I haven't had the pleasure of using those, but to be honest, I don't even want to because for me, this matte black edition is not going to be topped no matter what. So as mentioned, it is housed in an all aluminum case, which makes it incredibly resistant and durable in the long term. The back of the board has a mirror back piece with the Epomaker branding, which is very nice and subtle. And besides, it's on the back of the keyboard, so it's not something you're going to see. On the top is where you're going to find the USB-C connector. It's on the left side, which is nice if you have a coiled cable moving the opposite way, which takes up the length of the keyboard like I do. It just makes it look a bit more premium. You'll have the on-off switch and the the USB dongle as well, because you could use this wireless as well. So this keyboard is actually a tri-connection keyboard. So you could use it wired with USB-C connector, you could use it wireless with USB dongle, or you could use it with Bluetooth and connect up to 3 devices. So it does make it more of a portable option if you want to. However, remember, as a portable option, it is a very heavy keyboard. So basically the advantage of having a portable is in your own house. I would say if you're going from one setup to another, if you want to work using a laptop somewhere else, it makes it more portable. Traveling, it's going to be a very heavy board. I would recommend something a bit lighter if you're going like for business trips or stuff. You wouldn't bring this one with you, but it is portable in the sense that it could be used wireless or wired or with Bluetooth. So you could connect it to your cell phone or iPad or anything like that as well. Now, just a couple of notes of the keyboard overall. If you look at the top, I'm not sure if the camera is picking it up well. You do kind of have this angle over here. So a nice little like angular, overall shape to it at the bottom layer, which is nice. So from the top, you see the perfect rectangle, but underneath you have a bit of an angle over there. And the other thing that this keyboard does not have is customization in terms of the height. So you can adjust the height. The legs are here. They're silicone, obviously, and rubber, silicone rubber, whatever. So it doesn't slide. But overall, you can adjust the height of the keyboard. It is standard the way it is, but it is completely acceptable. Obviously, it's nice to have that extra feature, but I feel like if they would have added those plastic hinges or plastic legs, it would have taken away from the overall feel of the premiumness of this keyboard. I kind of like the fact that, it doesn't have hinges or anything for the height. And besides, it is super heavy. So unless they would have done like a really nice metal hinge, metal legs to make it adjustable, I find the default angle is incredibly satisfying for me. So the board is gasket mounted for that more cushiony feel. It has an FR4 plate with 5 layers of sound dampening materials, and it really creates that beautiful feel and sound. It reduces vibration and any metal pings. And all that is personal preference, but for me, it sounds absolutely fantastic. It does come pre-assembled with 2 switch options, so you could choose the lemon switches or the zebra switches. The version I have here are the zebra switches. They are linear switches. They are factory lubed to help ensure lasting smoothness, so you don't have to lube them yourself or do any extra work on your end. And the keycaps are front printed OEM keycaps, and they are PBT double shot, which is pretty much the superior printing of keycaps that you could have, but all that is obviously subjective. And here is a quick sound test. So far, everything is well and good. Now there is RGB, full RGB on this keyboard with south-facing LEDs, but it's not going to be more prominent on this keyboard. It might be brighter on the other colors, but this is an all-black keyboard, so the light and the RGB is going to get absorbed by the color, and it's not going to be as bright or reflective as something like you would have on a white keyboard, or maybe even the blue and the pink version are going to be brighter. But it does have RGB if ever that tickles your fancy. But I find with a keyboard like this, the only color I would necessarily leave it on is maybe like a static or light orange to kind of match the gold trim, or else just leave it with no lights on. It looks absolutely stunning without any RGB, and you don't really need RGB on a keyboard like this. It's a nice to have, but it's not something that I've been using a lot. I've actually turned it off. But the RGB is still there, and you could customize it directly from the keyboard. Now, since it is portable and wireless, it does have a 4,000 milliamp battery built in for extended usage of time. But to be honest, I have not even tested the battery length because I've been just using this wired on my desk. It's a keyboard. I find wireless keyboards for like a gaming setup are kind of pointless unless you really don't want that one wire on your desk, but you're still going to have a wire to charge your keyboard anyway, so might as well just have it plugged in with a nice coiled cable just to add to the aesthetic of it. You could customize a lot directly from the keyboard. You could go directly and change the RGB lighting if you want, but if you want to have more full customization by having macro keys or anything like that, you could go, it has full QMKVIA support, so you could just go in and remap the key, program macros, and control the lighting through there as well. So it does give you that customizability, and you don't have to download the Epomaker software to do it. Finally, the keyboard also has a nice rotary volume knob on the top right, so you could turn it for increased volume, lower volume, or just press it down to mute and unmute, which is actually a nice little feature to have on top of a keyboard. I don't like having too many shortcuts on my keyboard, but the volume knob is definitely something that is absolutely needed because I use it a lot, especially if I'm just editing, listening to music, or whatever it is, doing work around here, and then all of a sudden, I hear the kids or something and I just need a quick mute. It's right there, it's right on the keyboard, so it makes it super, super convenient as well. So this is a pre-assembled keyboard, but it is a premium pre-assembled keyboard. The black version with the zebra switches comes in at $140 US, but the purple one comes in a bit cheaper at about $120. So I think the purple, blue, and pink are a bit cheaper, and the black one's the more expensive one. We'll just double check Epomaker's website. I'll have the link down below, but this one here is about 140 USD, which is expensive for a keyboard, but I'm telling you, compared to other keyboards that I've tried over here, so a lot of the plastic ones, this one is a full aluminum build. For the price, it's actually a banger. I really love it. If you don't want to go down the rabbit hole of building your own custom keyboard and dealing with all the levels and layers and all that, if you want to just get a pre-assembled keyboard that's really gonna make it be satisfactory, I would recommend the Tide 75, because this piece, to be honest, is it's actually beautiful. For me, it's like an art piece, and it's very subjective. Somebody else might think the matte black is boring. I absolutely love it. If you guys enjoyed this review, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel. It is greatly appreciated. That'll do it for me today, and I will catch you guys next time.